you bet. This guy 3-bets us on the button. No real information about him. When he makes it this big as well, I feel like it's almost like it polarizes his range somewhat, because it could just as easily mean that he doesn't want action. But again, with a structure at 15-minute blind levels, I can just wait for a better spot. I'm going to put this down here. So I'm going to register for another one of those. $4.50. Okay, so 9 tables. We've got, in the next 11 minutes, we've got 3 more tournaments firing up. So we're going to have 12 tables open. This would be a good card for us to semi-bluff, even against 2 people with 1 card to come. They haven't really shown any aggression, so I'm going to get a lot of folds there. Okay, so this guy 3-bets us. He's got a 6.2% 3-bet range, and he's 3-betting in the small blind 18.2% of the time, which is not really that indicative given that he's doing it. Yeah, I'm going to take the prudent course of action and fold here, just because he's 3-betting my under the gun raise. I did consider 5-bet shoving there, just with my ace blocker and suited ace. This is an interesting spot. I'm going to bet very, very small. Take it down. This guy's shoving 100 plus big blinds here under the gun. I'm folding. Gonna keep an eye on that guy. See what he's doing that with. Okay. This guy. Yeah. Not sure what he's doing that under the gun with, but I guess we'll have plenty more opportunities to test that guy's mettle. Okay, so this guy looks pretty tight, and he's called a flop c-bet. I'm going to bet again, just because it's the big 11, and I've got very few hands on this guy, so his seemingly tight tendencies may not be necessarily how he plays. But to get a bit more value for my top pair. But when he check raises all in, I can just fold this. And check this. Raise here. I'm going to check again here. And just give him an opportunity to like bet on the river and see if he can... and call him. Yeah, that's okay. Kept the pot relatively small, so it's fine. This 5 doesn't really change much. Okay, I'm going to flat here. with the intention of check shoving any equity here on this flop. Although on this flop, that plan is a little bit thin. I mean, I just thought that this guy... Yeah, see, now I feel like I can bet. And obviously when I bet there, I have to bet the river. So I'm going to bet again. That's unfortunate. That's okay. So we've created a somewhat bluffy loose image on this table, which we can exploit. Guy raises again. I have an ace blocker. This guy's pretty tight, so let's see if I make a pot size bet here. I can expect to get a reasonable number of folds from this guy. Of course, if he calls or if he reshoves, we're not going to get into too much trouble with ace 8 offsuit here post flop. We pick it up. So we've started to create something of a dynamic with this guy. He probably perceives us as being relatively aggro and pretty bluffy. So we're going to change gears here a little bit and start to only with this guy in the big blind as well. I'm just going to fold my button there. And this guy 3 bets, I can just fold that quite happily. This guy on the other hand, I'm going to flat just because I don't have many hands on him. Okay, this I am happy to raise to pot. Not the greatest flop for us, but I'm going to throw out a c-bet anyway. Just because I feel like he's limp calling so often. He's limp calling 75% of the time, and his flop aggression factor is pretty high. Yeah, that's interesting. What's he doing versus... Yeah, so he's raising quite a lot, but I feel like when he's doing it with on this sort of flop, he's going to be doing it with a lot of stuff that has our pocket nines either crushed or has significant equity against them, so I can just go ahead and fold and look for a better spot. When we get check raised here by this guy here, he looks so tight that I'm just going to fold. Even with the top pair. Okay, so we hit our flush. We get check raised. Yeah. Obviously we could be over flushed here, but I'm just going to go ahead and shove. And he's going crazy with 2 pair. That's fine. We're going to raise this guy, obviously. He calls. No sense in stopping here. Can bet call my top pair top kicker here. Flat here. I'm going to check raise here, not because I have a pair, but because this is not a board that hits him necessarily. feel like he could also call and still be behind. And we can get at least one street of value. And then if a flush card doesn't come on the turn, I can just shove. As it is, he folds. Okay, so we're down to the last 100 players in this tournament, down to the last 60 here, and we've got a decent stack in both. Get out the way here. I'll raise this. No sense holding back here. Okay, we've got about one minute to go. In fact, right now we're going to have 3 more tournaments start fire up, and we're going to be up to 12 tables. There they go. I'm going to rebuy to the max here in this cubed. The 1350 knockout. Raise and call here with our queens. And we hit a set, which is nice. This guy doesn't fold to c-bets very often, so we can make it. We can still get our stack in on the river. Stack in by the river if we make this relatively small and encourage him to come along. Don't want him folding. He does. That's okay. We are going to rebuy to the max here in this $3 rebuy that's just started. Okay, so we have 12 tables open, ladies and gents. Going to change the music a little bit. Something a little bit more tuneful. Okay, when this guy shoves, not sure if I can call versus his shoving range. 13 big blinds, no information, so I'm going to fold. I'm going to raise this guy because he looks so wide. Raise here, fold here, raise here. This is still in the rebuy period, so it's fine. We will rebuy.